I thought the Jets had a chance to win that game going in yesterday. It was another awful football game. I am done wasting my time watching this team, and I mean that with all sincerity. I hope for the best for Aaron Glenn. I don't see where the wins are coming from. I don't see where the win is coming from. You just heard Gordon mention that they're not sure who's going to be the starting quarterback. Hey, you got Tyrod Taylor. You got what you wanted, Tyrod Taylor. How'd that look? Oh, he stinks too. What a shock. Like, at least we know what Tyrod Taylor is. We've seen him in the league for 15 years, so it's not just the quarterback. It's everything. They're a disaster. They're as boring and as unwatchable as anything could possibly be, BT. And I myself am tapping out of the Jets season.
I wish I could as well, but I've got contractual commitments with the podcast. Otherwise, I'd join you, buddy. The Jets right now are plus 320 to be winless.
You didn't
plus
think it'd win?
I do.
Just like by accident, one of these games?
Maybe Miami at home. I mean, Miami's going to fire him at some point, probably trade some guys. Maybe the Browns, but they're going to be 2-15, 3-14. They can't even score a touchdown, dude. You know, they give up 6 sacks, force no turnovers, no touchdowns here. They were
Sauce made a play yesterday.
Did he?
Nice to see, yeah.
I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, he did make a play, knocking a ball down. I forget what quarter it was.
I think he meant like a pick. God forbid he actually gets a pick like all the other good cornerbacks around football, whether it's Sertan or J.C. Horn. I mean, I listen, the only thing that really matters at this point for me is, and Taylor was not good either, but I thought Aaron at least had to show a willingness to mix it up for the rest of the guys in the locker room if he wants to have any chance of succeeding in year 2 or maybe beyond. And now he's going to have to do the dance properly the rest of the way with the media. And if he stumbles too much and it becomes overly and unnecessarily contentious, there's a chance AG's done after 1 year.
What would you do with the quarterback here next week?
I would start Tyrod Taylor. I think Justin Fields might be the worst thrower of the ball that I've ever seen. Like, his athletic, and I'm actually mad at myself for not knowing he was this bad. Not that I thought he was that good, but I was like a little bit pulled in by the athletic traits, and his numbers were okay. His numbers are okay. He doesn't throw picks because he never takes a shot downfield. You see him try to throw a swing pass. I'm talking 5 yards. He can't put it on the numbers. His inaccuracy is mind-bendingly bad. So I understand Tyrod Taylor's not the answer either. Hopefully it's Mendoza or one of these kids in college next year. I would go Tyrod Taylor. What about, would you start Fields?
I would stick with Fields, yeah, but I just have him run the football more. Like, that's what they need to do. That's how they were supposed to be built. I don't understand why the Jets can't run it. Well, why can't they run the football? They were supposed to be built on the offensive line and running the football. Well, why can't they do that?
Well, the answer now is, to me, pretty simple. Because without Garrett Wilson, they've got no chance to throw the football.
But they
stack the box
with Garrett Wilson.
No, that's not true. That opening drive against Miami, they shoved it down their throat. Braylon Allen fumbled at the one.
One drive. I'm not talking about one drive.
No, the Jets' rushing stats are actually pretty good this year.
The stats may be good. They don't run the football well enough.
I'm not saying they run it well enough to win or to even be a decent team.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the only thing that they do, or they were doing fairly well. They had success running the ball against Pittsburgh in doses, but they're so...
Well, Pittsburgh was... I mean, Justin Fields had success.
You know, I get that. What I'm saying now is they're so predictable that they've got no chance to run the ball, and if they can't run the ball at least decent, then they've got no chance to even move the ball and score touchdowns. They cannot throw the ball. It's embarrassing. You talk about coaching like it's not the 1950s or 1960s anymore. Like, the Jets' offense really looks like it's from 40 years ago. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that Justin Fields is not any good. We were trying to say that. I am surprised that the Jets can't move the football at all. Like, they just can't move the football at all. It doesn't matter who's under center. They can't move the football. So, to me, that's bigger than just the quarterback. Denver's defense was a part of it last week. Carolina's defense is not that good, and they still couldn't move the football. So, obviously, Justin Fields not wanting to throw the ball. Tyrod Taylor can't throw the ball either, whether it's underthrowing guys or whatever it may be. They don't have good receivers. I mean, but that's why they were built on the offensive line and running the ball. We knew that coming into the year. Why has that not been there consistently enough? Now, you can say Braylon Allen being hurt, sure. I mean, even when Braylon Allen was healthy, he was not doing it to the level that we had expected. Breece Hall is not doing it to the level nearly that we expected. They are an unwatchable, boring mess, disaster of a team that it's actually torture to watch their games.
It's the worst. It really feels like work.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Yeah. I'm done doing it because there's no point in doing it. I hope for the best for Aaron Glenn. I don't see it. I think they're going to go winless now. The only way maybe they get a win is if Buffalo rests everybody week 18.
Okay, so let's go forward here. So
they're not beating the Bengals, no chance.
Bengals next. Bengals have 3 wins. They'll lose that
Browns
game.
Browns defense is going to destroy that.
Low scoring, gross, yuck fest, flip a coin.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. Like, you have to actually score points to win.
I get it.
So
I guess.
The Browns defense, like, how are they scoring any points on the Browns?
They're probably not.
Patriots all of a sudden one of the best teams in the AFC.
Loss.
If not the NFL. The Ravens, even though they stink, maybe by then Lamar Jackson's back. And even the bad Ravens are still better than the Jets.
Better coach, better culture, probably a loss.
Atlanta, they're not beating Atlanta.
Loss.
Where's
that game? I'm just curious.
Here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Falcons aren't good, but they're good enough to beat the Jets.
Better than the Jets.
Yeah, Miami might be your only one here.
That's the one that I said initially.
But even that, like, who knows what Miami's going to look like by December 7th. Like, I mean, think about how far we're going here. If you can't beat the Panthers, forget about even beating the Panthers at home. There was never a time in that game where I felt like the Jets had a chance to win, period. I don't care what the score said. It felt like an impossibility for them to move the football. What? So why would I expect that they're going to be able to compete against any Jaguars? No. Saints aren't good, but they're better than the Jets.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody is, I think. I think the Jets are the worst team in football. They cannot score.
Good God,
Now,
man.
something happened to me yesterday, right? Now, whether it's Bollinger or like when they brought Vinny off the couch when he was 45, whatever the hell it was. Like, we've watched some really bad Jets football. We all know that. Yesterday, something happened to me that's never happened once in my football life. I didn't react or cheer once to a near pick or a big sack or a big offensive play. Literally nothing happened where I was like, all right, let's go. Not once.
Yeah, I mean, I could certainly understand that. I do feel bad for Aaron Glenn, but this is just when you think it can't get any worse, it continues to get worse.
I know. I got a question for you. Let's say, now I don't think they're going winless. I don't. Nah, one or two max, but I think they'll get one. If they were to go winless, but there's, he keeps it somewhat stabilized and they play hard and it's obvious they're not winning because they just have zero talent and there's no real blow-ups with the media. You bring them back?
I mean, what's the difference?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I don't know. Like the symbolism of no wins.
And what's the alternative? Like, is Woody just going to hire another first-time defensive coordinator? I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. I would not bring a quarterback into this. Like, what do you think's going to happen? Pick the best quarterback, whoever it is. What do you think?
For me, it's Mendoza from Indiana right now.
There you go, Mendoza.
Yeah, you're going to give him to the staff? That's the problem.
Like, why would you think it's going to be any different than anybody else that's come here and failed before? It's not.
I know.
Breaking news, not going to happen. Aaron Rodgers comes here. The one short thing that we thought, he's not going to fail here. He wasn't good here. And it's not his fault. It's everything else. Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, on and on and on and on. Pick the head coaches, pick the coordinators. So the last thing that I would be looking to do if I'm the Jets is to select a young quarterback. I'm still trying to build, as impossible as it may seem, I'm still trying to build the foundation of a winning football team.
Yeah, they're going to take the quarterback. And now, which one, I don't know. But, see, their move, and you'd have to get a coach who loves one of these prospects. And, again, this is downstream conversation, but just hit me now. Like, if you have real reluctance, and I understand why everybody would, to put Mendoza or Dante Moore or whatever college kid with this staff, including Aaron Glenn, you might have to really just trade for an established head coach. Like, you might have to give up 2 first-round, not this year because you couldn't draft the kid.
But they want one. Like
you talking about the Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Woody.
No, do they want an experienced head coach? Well, they had a chance to get him.
Probably not. No, what I'm saying is no, probably not. But like this, if they go 1-16 or 0-17, and they've got the first pick, right? And it's just gross, which it will be the rest of the way. And there's not even a thought by Woody Johnson to color outside the lines and hire like a real veteran. Like then I don't know what to tell anybody. I really don't.
BT and Sal on the fan. Let's get back to the Giants calls here. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Lawrence is in Oklahoma City. What's up, Lawrence?
Hey, guys. I want to make a Jets point at the end, but I hope you had a good weekend.
Yeah. It's good.
You
awesome.
too,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So what the season started for me with the Giants, the only thing I really cared about is Jackson Dart going to be the franchise quarterback? And in 3 or 4 weeks here, he's already answered that question for me, that he's legit. So now the scope has to go back onto the coaching staff, and that's just where I'm at with that. But when Jackson Dart did that 1-minute drive in the fourth quarter yesterday, I don't care win or lose. For me, that's all I needed to see yesterday. That 1-minute drive was so heartwarming, and the future is so bright for the Giants. I wasn't thinking playoffs this year. I was just thinking developing Jackson. And, man, what was better than that drive?
Well, Lawrence, think about this. I got it. I mean, that's the main thing. You very well might have a player that you're going to watch lead you 70 yards in the end zone in an NFC Championship game to get to the Super Bowl. That's on the table. Like he's got that kind of at least possibility. But and while that's the main focal point, it doesn't mean that when you lose a game like that, with everything else going around the rest of the NFL, the parity, the wins you had before yesterday, the way you shoved it down an elite defense's throat, like both things could be true.
Yeah.
You could be pumped about Dart and crushed with the collapse.
Yeah, as you should be excited about Jackson Dart and saying that the most important thing to come out of this year was seeing if you have a franchise quarterback. And we all believe that at this particular point, after 4 starts, they have the franchise quarterback for different reasons, right? His skill set, his mindset, all those different things. However, there's no guarantee about next year. The time could have been now. If they won that game yesterday, and not only are we talking about they have their franchise quarterback, we're talking about the Giants at 3-4 going to beat the Eagles and trying to take a chance at winning the NFC East. Like, that's all there right now. Jackson Dart could be playing in the postseason now, this year, not next year. It's not like, oh, yeah, well, next year we'll add this and that. Their defense is ready to win now. It was built to be a win-now defense. Nobody's going to argue that. I mean, look at all the players
no, we've talked about that a million times.
Okay,
all the resources devoted to it, yeah.
And they thought coming into the year that they were going to be a win-now team with a veteran quarterback while also having Dart sit and learn and then maybe go to him whenever the season got out of hand. Obviously, things changed as it went with Jackson Dart, but it was even better once you went to him. He elevated everybody around him, and they started to have some success, so season back on. So it shouldn't be about, well, next year Dart's going to be good. He's good right now.
Yep.
He's good enough to win games right now. Are the other pieces, meaning the coaches or even some of those big names on defense, are they good enough to win now? So you could be excited about the future and excited about the franchise quarterback. How could you not be ticked off and despondent after what happened yesterday in Denver?
Like I said to start the show, I don't know that you can sit there for 50 years and outside of a playoff game feel worse about a loss. And the other thing, too, about this is not, the NBA where you draft a LeBron or an MJ and, you got a 15-year ticket to win championships. Things change fast at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And this is not to jinx anybody, but this is just the reality of it. I mean, Joe Burrow's hurt every single year.
Yeah.
Lamar is yet to get to a Super Bowl. He's jacked up. They're done this year. They're terrible. Tua looked really good early. He's going to be gone. Coach going to be fired. Carson Palmer back in the day. There were just
Jaden Daniels banged up this year.
Hamstring already jacked up, and they're going backwards. They might not be a playoff team this year. There's already so many examples to, where and that's what Sal's saying, and I'm with you. Like, when you've got a chance to punch through and you don't, oftentimes you lament that because you don't always get another one.
Caesar calling from Dallas, Texas. What's up, Caesar?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I 100%. That's the most frustrating part. And I want to get into a couple coaching decisions, but what I fear is that where things are heading and how bad Dable has been coaching, we're going to end up into a situation where we were in the same spot we were with Daniel Jones, right? Daniel Jones came in first year. He had a really good year with Shermer as his head coach. Things spiraled out of control. They fired him, and he was just never the same here. Like, I feel like we do owe Dable a little more time, but it is frustrating. You have, I think, 100%. The last game was on the coaches and the Cowboys.
Well, hold on. Hold on, Cease. Why do you owe them anything? It's not year 1 or 2.
Well, it's not. I don't think we owe them anything. I just don't want to make the same mistakes. Okay, and here, and I 100%. Dable has been terrible. I mean, there's no way around it. 4 years in, the kicking is still a situation. Yeah. How many times does the kicking game have to cost you a game?
Right.
Before there's other teams that get kickers that are hurt. They bring in a competent guy who doesn't end up costing them games. We're the only ones who year after year.
I'm with you, exactly with you. Same thing with Dable here. Not that you owe him anything, but I just want to see this play out here, see if he learns and starts winning these games. But this is not just a this year issue. This is not just a Jackson Dart, like Dable with Dart issue. He was giving games away last year that they should have won. Early on in the year, you can't. The NFL wins are hard to come by. You can't be giving them away. Dable's been doing this for years. So obviously there's something wrong.
Well, he doesn't have his pulse on the game, and I really feel this because I know you guys already touched on this a little bit, and you guys say, well, you can't run the clock down there. You have to score because you still need a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And really, if you take that on the outside, not looking at that game, I 100% agree with that. But when you look at that game, they had no points going into the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, they're going up and down the field. Okay, your defense is absolutely gassed. Okay? to me, you do run the clock down a little bit on first down, even if it's just taking a knee. You run it down to maybe 15 seconds, and then you know what? If we can't get in from the 1 yard line, if we have 3 shots from the 1 yard line and you can't get in to win the game, then so be it. I can live with it. But what I can't live with is a coach knowing that you're deep. And first of all, you've already seen this happen in the Dallas game. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you had a timeout going into that defensive possession. So I can't remember if they called that timeout before the first play or the second play on that last drive, on that last field goal drive. But what are you telling your defense? Is Dable not in there? The second he calls a defense where you only have 3 guys rushing, and we all saw it, that first play cannot go for longer than 15 yards.
30 yards!
What is the best chance?
30 yards! I mean,
yeah,
it was...
Absolutely. You cannot call that defense. You cannot rush 3 guys on that play. You can't do it. If they don't get 15 yards on that one play, we win the game. And he allowed the defensive coordinator to call a defense where you only rush 3 guys. And I'm sorry, even those guys were gassed. Burns gave his life and soul out there. I know he was offside because he couldn't get back. The guy's hopping on 1 foot. He could have called it onside.
He could have called a timeout, though, to bail him out. Good call, Caesar.
And you saw that, obviously you heard Burns, shouting when he was shouting going into lock room, but you also saw him limping. He's been an absolute stud. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's some, now, there are just some coaches who are not good at game management. There's just that's a skill.
There are too many tight games, and he's been on the wrong side of them. Here's what bothered me, too, not to mention the end, obviously, which is obvious with everybody there. The drive that the Giants had with 5 minutes to go. Peyton, who coached Dable's pants off in this game, Sean Payton calling a timeout. Usually coaches will wait till 2 minutes to go, around 2 minutes ago.
Yep.
Peyton was aggressive in this spot.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. Colt goes, why did they call a timeout? I said, because they're down 2, so you have to do it now.
Okay, so what does Dable do? First down, or the offense, but this is, Dable's the head coach. Scatterboo, rush up the middle. Timeout immediately. 5 minutes ago. All Peyton's doing is extending the game at this point. 5 minutes still an eternity. 2 scores doesn't make it seem like that, but if you're starting to call timeouts here and the Giants keep running in the line,
I agree.
It's an eternity. What does he do the next play? Run again.
Timeout, Blue.
You got Jackson Dart. You've been moving the football on them. Like, you can't, it can't just be, with 5 minutes to go, you're trying to run the clock out.
But the worst part is now finish on third down. This is the problem.
Right.
This is when you should have run for sure.
So run, and then after another timeout, he throws the ball, and that's where Dart intercepts it.
And I'm not saying that just because of the interception. If you're up 1 score, that's different. When you have a 2-score lead in your back pocket, to not call the timeout there is the this is going to sound is the height of idiocy.
But then they do the next thing, the next drive. Again, now 3:45 to go. Denver's already on the board with another touchdown. Run, Scatterboo. And now you're 3 minutes left, and that's where they take the shot down the field. Like, that is all. You basically just gave up 2 drives where all you have to do is drive the football, get a couple of first downs. Yeah. He burns his timeouts, clock is running, and you're good to go.
Peyton's sitting there saying, is this guy kidding me? Is he really doing this for me?
They did him a favor.
Thinking.
They was trying to play the clock game. Peyton ran the timeout. Cole uses timeouts. Good God, man. That's on top of everything else. BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior call as we come back.